everybody. So I was out for a week, and they decided to pick up a whole lot of wrestlers for me because they know how much I love that. And right now we are processing wrestlers, elites, ultimates. We just got the case stocked up. So now I'm going to work on the triangles. Right here we got ourselves a nice Mr. T Ultimate. That is from the WrestleMania 1 appearance, because he doesn't have the boxing gloves. If he has the boxing gloves, that's from WrestleMania 2, when he fought Roddy Piper. I mean, he fought Roddy Piper at WrestleMania 1 as well. A lot of bad blood there, but I think they finally patched things up at one of the Hall of Fames. That's actually already one of our bags. Let's see, we have an Attitude Era Rock figure here. I recognize this version of the Rock because that is the version I saw at the first Raw I ever went to, where he was with the Nation of Domination. He gave Farouk a framed photo of himself, the best Intercontinental Champion that there ever was, and everybody else got a Rolex, which, surprise, surprise, when I talked to Mark Henry when he came in here, he told me that that was a Folex, is what he told me, and I said, no, please don't tell me that The Rock's handing out fake gold, but I mean, you know, the Great One was struggling back then. He wasn't the superstar that he was, and I'm sure wrestlers were on a budget in 1997. So, let's see, got an Ultimate Warrior here. I always loved the duster designs on the Ultimate Warrior. This is from the WCW era, because you could see the OWN, the One Warrior Nation. That was when he was going against the NWO and Hulk Hogan. Didn't last very long. WCW had him for a couple weeks, but very cool figure there. Same here with this one. Big Papa Pump Scott Steiner. You got the hookup. Holler if you hear me. Scott Steiner was, let's see what, Braun Breaker, his nephew's out there just killing it right now. So, you know, let's keep an eye out there, because I know Scotty's got a son who's in football and ready to wrestle. And hey, there we go. Here's a blast from the past. We got ourselves a Jerry the King Lawler. Now, this is Jerry in his King of Memphis gear. This would be more of what he wore when he would face Andy Kaufman and the likes of that, which also has an interesting WWE figure. I have that one in my collection as well. And then I've got the Usos here. This is from the Usos Ultimate Series. Look at that. I got to add the hair back to poor Jay. But yeah, we're just going to keep bagging and tagging these guys and get them out to the triangles, because, you know, I like to make sure you guys are fully stocked when it comes to loose 6-inch figures. Let's see what else we got in here.
So when you're doing these, you know the prices off the top of your head for the most part now?
For the most part, yeah. After doing this for a little while, I can look at that and go, that's a $20 figure, that's a $15 figure, that's missing accessories, so that's, you know, going for this much. It's just the more reps you get in, the easier it gets, and plus you see a lot of the same figures in collections a lot that come in, so you start getting a feel like, okay, I've seen this Hulk Hogan, the Thunderlips Hulk Hogan, a couple of times. I know he doesn't go for too much, but so we got Shawn Michaels. This is Survivor Series 1997 Shawn Michaels. This is the Bret the Hitman Hart Screwjob Shawn Michaels. So this is the one where he faced Bret in Canada, took the belt from Bret and the infamous Montreal Screwjob, and yeah, history was made that night. Bret's still talking about it, and we will never, ever let the fans, or let Shawn or Vince ever forget it. And we got ourselves King Harley Race. Harley Race has a reputation for being one of the toughest wrestlers ever to grace the sport. They said Harley could make guys in the locker room do his bidding by just a look, because they knew if they didn't, then, you know, he'd come over there and put the hurting on him. And then here's another fun one right here. This is Hulk Hogan Ultimate from WrestleMania 9. Now, the fun fact from this one is this does have a Hulk Hogan with a black eye, because he did show up at WrestleMania 9 with a black eye. A lot of people don't know how he got that. If you follow the rumors, you might have heard that the Macho Man made that one, but I'm not 100% on that one. So if you know, drop it in the comments down below and let me know the origin of Hulk Hogan's black eye from WrestleMania 9. drop some knowledge down there, guys. And here's another Hulk Hogan where he's got a license plate hanging from the neck. They did a lot of fun stuff with Hulkster back in the day to get him, you know, all jazzed up for the kids. And that was one I think I bought into, with the gladiator helmet and the license plate necklace. Just some fun gimmicky 90s stuff that we used to do back in the day. Speaking of 90s, I think I see the Jimmy Hart right there. Mouth of the South Jimmy Hart also went up against Jerry Lawler back in the day. He wasn't wrestling, but he did manage a lot of Jerry Lawler's opponents. He managed Andy Kaufman in that infamous match I was talking about earlier. Big Show, you're going to go in the case because you're just a little too big for the bags. We got ourselves an early version of Edge here. What I liked about this one is this one does come with like the pleather style coat that he used to come out of the fire ring with. And it does look very good. Like it's not going to flake off anytime soon. So that's a good piece. Little pro tip here if you're bringing stuff in at Dallas Vintage Toys. You always get just a little bit more in your value if you've gone through the trouble and individually bagged your figures with their accessories. A lot of people will bring me just one big bag full of arms, heads, hands, and just, you know, accessories, and that takes time. That I gotta go through those. I gotta match them up with their figures. I've got to go through online photos, and time is money, guys. So if you've gone through the trouble of doing that for me, it does. You get a little more value to your figures in your collection. And what I'm doing right now is I'm taking them from the previous owner's bags in these Ziploc bags, and I'm transferring them into our bags, where ultimately what I'll end up doing is taking these headers, the Dallas Vintage Toy headers, we'll fold them up, we'll staple them on the top, and they'll go out there with a price tag on the triangles for you guys. So again, just a little insight of what we're doing to make your day just a little bit better. The Macho Man Randy Savage. I have this one in my collection, the NWO version. He is on my shelf right now. What I don't have, I did see in one of the other bins, which is not out here yet, was an Eric Bischoff. I gotta get an Easy E for my collection. You can't have the NWO without the financier. See, we got a Seth freaking Rollins right here in his Technicolor Dream Coat. Look at that thing. They even added the sequins to it. And Seth, as we all know, has no shortage of entrance attires. Now, this is the Ultimate Warrior from WrestleMania when he faced Hulk Hogan. Because Warrior had the Intercontinental title. It was belt for belt. World title for the Intercontinental title. What I always liked about the Warrior is he had the fun yellow colored Intercontinental strap. But yes, it's a cool figure. I remember this was a Fan Toys exclusive on Amazon. I picked that one up myself. You can pick it up here at Dallas Vintage Toys now. This is a ultimate version of Roman Reigns. Looks like he's missing the t-shirt and title belt to go with that. But he's in his Superman punch pose, getting ready to unleash that thing on somebody. Let's see. Just a few more of these bags left, and then I'll have to go get some more. It's a Big Daddy Cool Diesel. That's actual Diesel. I was about to say, is that the Diesel or is that the fake Diesel figure? But that's an actual Kevin Nash figure right there. Still can't believe that the Monday Night Wars line actually put out a fake Diesel figure, but I don't have the fake Razor yet. You're gonna give me one, give me both. Let's see. More Bloodline Solo Sokoa. I like this one because he comes with like the Taz type towel to go on the head. Farmer Brock Lesnar. People like to nickname him that because he's wearing the flannel attire. Actually, let me get back in that day because we had it in one of ours already. There's the Texas Rattlesnake, Stone Cold Steve Austin. This is actually, from the Dallas, Texas WrestleMania when he retired. Because I remember seeing that shirt. Actually, I was there. I was there for that. So I got to see Stone Cold's retirement match. A friend of mine called me up the day before, asked me if I wanted to go to WrestleMania or what my WrestleMania plans were. At the time, it was sitting at home and, you know, eating food and watching it. And then they decided we were going to go out to Arlington and see WrestleMania from the suites. So that was a lot of fun. A nice 1970s era Hulk Hogan with the classic WWF title. That's really cool. They did a good job on the inscription there. So we got, ooh, the Macho Man. This is classic announcer era Macho Man. I always like the 90s colors. What about you, Dave? Were you a fan of the 90s colors?
Oh, I love them. And was one of the reasons why he jumped ship was because Vince was using him as an announcer too much and he wanted to get back in the ring?
That's absolutely correct. The Macho Man thought he had a lot more to give and said he had more in the tank to give to the younger audience. And Vince thought differently, said his time had passed, and Macho went to WCW so that he could wrestle. And Vince was very upset with him because part of that deal also went with the Slim Jim license. So when Mach jumped to WCW, he took the Slim Jim deal with him. And honestly, when you look at it all on paper, Slim Jim pretty much paid for the Macho Man to go to WCW. And that really, really upset Vince back in the day. And then we got Ultimate Bret Hart here, which I like this one because you get yourself Bret with and without the jacket. So you've got a whole lot of accessories here, different hands, different arms, because Bret always had the cool jacket when he came out. He always gave the glasses away to the kids at ringside. So that's a cool Ultimate piece that's 100% complete right there. Look at everything that goes into an Ultimate WWE figure. Because a lot of people will ask me what the difference between an Ultimate, an Elite, and a Basic is. And since I've got everything right here, we'll school you real quick. So the Ultimate's going to come with most of your accessories here, where you're seeing all the different stuff that you're looking at. A Basic figure is exactly that. It's going to come with a basic stance here, no accessories, usually very little articulation in the torso and legs. And then when you go up to more of an Elite figure, you're getting more accessories, some cloth goods sometimes, and you're going to get that ab crunch in the articulation there. So again, guys, little subtle differences when you're looking at the action figures and you're trying to pick out which one's right for you. And as always, if you're in here at Dallas Vintage Toys and you just want to know the differences, or you just want to talk toys, you know, we're more than happy to talk that, let you know what you're looking at, so that you know, you're going home with those collectibles that you actually want to go home with. That's what I always tell people is I want to make sure you're happy with them before you take them home, because I mean that's the whole point here, guys. We enjoy our collections just as much as you enjoy yours.
Dun, dun, dun.
Who took a dive?
Who is that? Let us know in the comments. Who just fell?
Oh, I see it. I see it. I know who it is. Actually, might be bagging up one of his figures right now.
Yeah, but we need that comment engagement. So who is it?
Yeah, I have no idea, guys. I'm absolutely, I can't see. I can't see it. So you're gonna have to tell me. Tell me what's going on down there. I got an Undertaker here from looks like the last. No, because he's not wearing the vest, but this is one of the Undertaker's last appearances, because he's got the mohawk and the red rosary attire on the side of the tights there. Asuka always has the colorful attire, colorful entrance attire, and the fun masks to go with her figures as well.
It just depends on what you have.
And a lot of people don't know that she used to actually work for Capcom. She used to actually work for a video game company. Andre the Giant in the salmon colored shirt. This is more of his talk show appearance, Andre, right there. The boss. Nobody crossed the boss. Lots of stories telling you if you didn't do what Andre said, you were definitely going to have a bad day. So what we're going to do here is, since he's a bigger figure, sometimes we have to make him do the pirouette dance as if he's in ballet, so I can get him to fit in the bag. So if you're ever out here at Dallas Vintage Toys and you see a figure and you're like, why is he looking like he's jumping for joy? It's because he's a little too tall for my bags and I needed to shorten him up a little. But it's always fun to see them doing that. There's another black eye Hulk Hogan right here. A lot of doubles in this one.
That'll happen when you're collecting. Do I got that?
Do I have it? Maybe? I'll get it again. Or I want one in box. I want one out of box. Now I need one just to look at the box. That is the Build-A-Figure Paul Bearer right there. You can tell because you can see where all the figure pieces connect, and the arms and the legs, and the Build-A-Figure Paul Bearer was not nearly as portly. He's going in my last bag right here. Ultimate Yokozuna. Now, this is fun because Yokozuna, as a kid, I thought he was 100% Japanese. So he'd come out as the sumo wrestler, he'd throw the salt, he'd have the manager, and I bought in as a kid. It wasn't until later on that I find out that he's actually Samoan. And I'm like, okay, well, I guess that makes sense now. But yeah, I did. I literally thought he was 100% Japanese back in the day. No idea he was related to Rikishi and the rest of the bloodline. But again, that's what WWE did back in the day. They told stories and had characters like nobody else. And yeah, now you can come get them here at Dallas Vintage Toys. Another Andre. Andre next to the Big Show. Now that was something they did in WCW that Show actually talks about now in negative. Back in the day, because he's so big, WCW tried to capitalize on him just being a giant by saying he was Andre's son. When in fact, he's not related to Andre at all. He just happens to be another giant man. Let's see, Ultimate Ric Flair with the pink robe. And big gold. So what I liked about this version of Big Gold that they put out was it actually has the ruby studs. Back in the day, in the NWA era of the Big Gold belt, they would put ruby studs around the belt. Now, nowadays, when you look at the replicas, it's just cubic zirconium or a diamond-like substance. But yes, right there is the ruby red belt on Ric Flair. Big Daddy V, Viscera. Once King Mabel. He used to wrestle, let's see, when he wrestled The Undertaker, he ended up breaking The Undertaker's orbital bone, and later on, when he came back into the Federation, Undertaker said, I'm not wrestling him, I'd rather have him on my team. So they turned him into Viscera, or Big Daddy V, and here he is with the hardcore title. A hard-to-find belt in the action figure line right there, because they didn't do a whole lot of those. You can only get them in a select few figures. This one being one. Jake the Snake Roberts with Damien, his loyal pet snake. Fun fact about Jake the Snake Roberts, he's actually scared of snakes, but he's made a career out of handling them. So just let you know, you guys can conquer your fears and do anything you want to do. Because if Jake can be scared of the snakes and walk them down to the ring, then you can do that too. Not necessarily with the snakes, but you know. Here we've got Charlotte Flair from her Ultimate Edition. Now this one I do have in my personal collection as well, because I like having her next to Rick with the matching robes. Let's get this in here. And then, what else are we looking over here? Ladies and gentlemen, it's Mean Mark Callis, aka The Undertaker. Before he's The Undertaker, before the tattoos, before hanging out with Paul Bearer, he was Texas Red, and then went to WCW as Mean Mark Callis. And there's that figure right there. Now we have ourselves the bad guy, Razor Ramon, Scott Hall. Now, Scott Hall has had many names. The Diamond Stud was one of them back in the day when he had a big Magnum PI mustache. But then he had most of his fame after he decided to start putting on some gold chains, wearing the vest, and walking around as Razor Ramon. You can thank Scott Hall and Kevin Nash for those guys. And then here is AJ Styles from his WCW Nitro appearance. That's right, AJ Styles was on WCW. Towards the very end, right before they went under, you could see him on a couple of editions of Thunder and a couple editions of late era Monday Nitro. What we could have gotten with AJ as a WCW wrestler, we'll never know now, guys. Here's another NWO edition Macho Man, Randy Savage. Snapping into the Slim Jims as only he can. I always loved Macho Man's frills. He always had the best attire. He had the frills and tassels, and always had the cool t-shirts, and I mean even the sunglasses would match the bandana, which was always something that was really cool. Let's see, Kurt Hennig, Mr. Perfect. No, I'm sorry, that's Lex Luger. Friend of the store and Hall of Famer. The total package Lex Luger. Longest reigning United States champion and one of the only men to slam Yokozuna. So yes, right there. Looks like Macho Man got a shirt. It's exciting stuff, guys. This is what goes into getting your toys ready for the triangles. Here's another Ultimate Bret Hart. I like this one because he comes with the black leather jacket. That's the version of Bret that I'm most familiar with. And you got those reflective Hitman shades. Check that out. Now, a little Bret Hart trivia for everybody. Bret always has a number of hearts on his tights. Now, the number of hearts on the tights coincide with the number of children Bret has during his career. So whether you see 1, 2, 3, or 4, those were all representing his kids when you go out to the ring. Random wrestling trivia with your boy Rowdy Roy. We got the British Bulldog, Bret's brother-in-law. That is from their match at Wembley Stadium. Bret versus the British Bulldog for the Intercontinental title. Probably one of the Bulldog's better matches. So if you get a chance to go out of your way, go check that one out, guys. It's a fun one to see. Let's see. Stone Cold Steve Austin. Now that's an Elite Stone Cold right there. Missing some hand accessories, but he's got everything you need to be Stone Cold Steve Austin. Dish out some stunners, open up a can, that kind of thing. Let's see. Ooh, there we go. There's one that's going to end up going in the case. That's a Doink the Clown. All right, guys. From the Rocky Mountains, it's Big Van Vader. Now, Vader was also one of my favorites as a kid because I just thought he was awesome that he was a guy that size that could move as quick as he did and do that moonsault that he would do off the top rope. Very cool wrestler, and I always wish he would have been WWF champion. But, if you know, you know what happened with him and Shawn Michaels. So another Ultimate Warrior here. Versus Macho Show, the Ultimate Maniacs. Ken Shamrock, UFC champion. Former Ultimate Fighter. Legitimate, one of the toughest men ever to grace the ring. Shamrock was a UFC fighter. He fought for a few years, won a few titles, decided to try his luck at pro wrestling, and made a name for himself there. Was master of the ankle lock and the German suplex, and was also one of the big proponents of the Lion's Den match, which was their own version of the UFC cage fight. So we've got ourselves a Attitude Era Rocky Maivia right here. Or The Rock, as he likes to be called at that point. So that is the famous Rock with the Brahma Bull shirt from the Smell What the Rock is Cooking pose right there. 1998 was the year The Rock broke out and really decided to start showing his talents. And yeah, that's a great figure. So now we have another Mr. T here, training with Hulk Hogan, saying his prayers and taking his vitamins. What I always love is Mr. T comes with all that jewelry there. Let's see what else we got. There we go. This is Hulk Hogan from the very first title he ever won, from the Iron Sheik. That is the classic WWF belt that he beat the Sheik for. And yeah, that's when Hulkamania first started. So the classic shirt before he had his own brand. Those were when he would just get them custom made back out in the alleys. And yeah, that is a 1983 Hulk Hogan, I want to say. And we got ourselves a 1-2-3 Kid, aka X-Pac. He's holding that money bag from the $10,000 match he had with Razor Ramon. The big upset right there. Let's see. Oh, there's Billy Gunn. I wonder where that went.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
DX version of Billy Gunn. You can't get those figures very often anymore now that he's with AEW. So if you want to get a DX era Billy Gunn, you got to get that right here at Dallas Vintage Toys. And I got a Dave Bautista. This looks like the ultimate version of Batista. It looks like he's missing the contracts. But yes, from Guardians of the Galaxy, we have Drax the Destroyer, aka Dave Bautista. Another Attitude Era star. There's Christian. We're getting close to the end of this bucket here. Christian, X-Pac, Bret Hart. Looks like another Rock. Doink the Clown that's definitely going to go in the case. This is definitely an ultimate version of Sean because he's coming with all the extra goods there.
You've reached the end of this one.
I did. I have one more to go, but this one, like I said, this Doink is going to end up in the case because that is definitely from the Kickstarter pack from the New Generation Arena. What I loved about that is Doink was portrayed by 3 different wrestlers, and you get all 3 different faces here with that version of Doink. So you have your choice of any version of the era of Doink that you want in your collection. Again, guys, I'm going to get these things priced, tagged, ready to go out on the triangles. Till then, we'll see you here at Dallas Vintage Toys.